the Asian community needs some serious self-reflection when it comes to racism. As you guys probably know, I moved to London 2 months ago. I live in a pretty affluent area, and let me tell you this, so far I have not seen a single Asian girl or gay guy holding hands with a black or brown person on the street or at school. In fact, almost all of them were with white dudes. A few days ago, I matched with someone from Bangladesh on a dating app. He's incredibly smart and humorous. He graduated from Imperial College, which is like one of the best universities in the world, and he's got a good paying job in technology. However, to my surprise, after we matched, his opening line was, "Thank you for liking me back. I'm aware that I may not be your preferred ethnicity, but I decided to shoot my shot anyways." At that very moment, I felt like all the dots were connecting. Why are so many Asian people actively discriminating against others with a darker color of skin, especially in the context of dating? By the way, I'm very fed up with excuses like race is highly correlated with socioeconomic status. Well, in London, which is very racially diverse, by the way, there are so many super accomplished black and brown people in banking and technology. And my observation is that many Asian girls and gay guys would rather choose a white guy with mediocre salary. My message to the Asian community is very simple. Whitewashing yourself is pathetic. Don't do it.
It's a Spanish woman on here crying, saying that she should have listened to her mother and not marry a black guy. She's boohoo crying, saying, "Give me my computer, it's not yours." I guess they're in some little tussle or disagreement, whatever. He's not beating on her or anything, but she's asking for her computer. My thing is, one, I don't know what black has to do with the man not giving you back your computer. I don't understand that, but it sheds light to me that lets me know behind the scenes, a lot of these parents of like different ethnicities and races that are not black be telling their children, do not marry black people. These are conversations that these other cultures are having. It seems as if the people that marry outside of their race, specifically if they go to like the black race, like a white woman to a black guy or a Spanish woman to a black guy or an Asian woman to a black guy, they're doing it out of rebellion. Because if your family is constantly telling you not to marry into or not to date this kind of person and you go date this kind of person, that reminds me of like teenagers who do bad things because they're told that it's bad and it sounds more enticing. You know what I mean? I would love to know what else the mother told her about black men as to why you don't date them. Like, I would love to know how those conversations were being had behind the scenes, because oh my gosh. But I mean, we could have told you that, girl. We could have told
you realize that by pointing this out, what you've actually done is confirm that white systemic racism against black people has bled into other cultures, right?
Please be patient with me because there's so much here. I think the quick answer is that Asian Americans are given white privilege, especially the Asian Americans who fit the model minority stereotype. The quid pro quo for receiving that privilege is upholding white supremacy culture, which means being anti-black. I was talking with somebody last night who was pointing out that the Civil Rights Amendment was passed in 1964, but also in the 1960s, the United States opened the door to Asian immigration. So now you have an influx of racial minorities who knew nothing about the history of white violence against black people, knew nothing about the black civil rights movement. So they arrived with civil rights, not understanding how that came to be. And also it effectively erased the United States' own anti-Asian history, because Asian Americans came in not necessarily knowing about the Chinese Exclusion Act or the internment of Japanese Americans in the United States during World War II. And I think that Asian Americans are used as a buffer between the black community and the white community, because in the 1960s, there was almost a racial reckoning. The white power structure almost had to face accountability for the history of violence against black people. But instead, Asian Americans were inserted and were pit against each other, so that we're always up against each other, and that basically like white supremacy escapes accountability. And the example that I think of that sort of started like the root of a lot of tension is Asian Americans were buying into the negative media stereotypes of Black people. And then in the events that led up to what became known as the LA riots, the LAPD kettled protests away from wealthy white neighborhoods and into Koreatown, and then they left. And we know how that played out. So again, the two communities being pitted against each other, and away from the white power structure. And obviously the model minority myth is used to oppress the Black community. And there's so much here. I will be getting more into it, but I feel like that's the quickest answer that I can give that gets a little bit into the history. And I'm really curious to know what the Black community and Asian Americans feel about this. But please be patient with me. Thank you.
A Black man and an Asian woman get into an argument. The Black man tells the Asian woman, fix your makeup. The Asian woman tells the Black man, fix your skin color.
Fix your makeup.
I wish that was like a shitty joke, but it's a real thing that just happened. This is a pretty viral clip, but I think there's a lot of things about it that people haven't talked about yet. First of all, I don't know why everyone is shocked that an Asian woman can be racist to another minority. Racism does not discriminate. If you think only white people can be racist, you have never been around Asian elders. You have never been to a barbershop. You have never been to a carne asada. Second of all, people being like, it's just a joke. It wasn't that deep. It was never that deep. It was just a playful insult. Every situation deserves context, okay? If you're with your group of friends and you guys talk like that normally, it's playful and you know it's friendly, that's chill. That's fine. If it's a comedian and a comedy show, you know they're going to be against the grain. You know they're going to try to push your buttons, push the limits on it. Okay, understandable. But a random interaction with someone you don't know, that's not the time to go straight racist. She's an adult. Her first instinct in a playful argument should not be going straight Call of Duty lobby. And you're saying, oh, what could she have said? I don't know. Like, hey, fix those fucking stupid ass glasses. You look stupid. They don't fit your face. They make you look like a nerd, but you're not a nerd because you're not smart. Out the dome. That was just playful, by the way. No hate towards him. Do I think that girl's apology was genuine on her Instagram story? Probably not. She's probably gonna do it again. But do I think the best way to chastise her is to insult her and try to get her entire life ruined? Probably not. If I was being hateful towards parents and a group of parents went and ruined my life, like saying, picked up my parents off from their house and dropped them off a cliff, I would probably hate parents for the rest of my life. But if the parents talk to me and they're like, yo man, that wasn't cool, try to educate me, I'd be cool with that.
I saw Chris So's video telling his Gaysian community to go try Black men. And if you don't know the video I'm talking about, this is the one I'm talking about. And yes, I screen record everything because I actually want people to regret the choices that they make online. And this is a major one. This is just another example of the Asian American community antagonizing the Black community. And I actually watched this other creator's video. Her name is Hillary. I reposted it and liked it, and I will link it down below. But let's just listen to some of the shady rhetoric that Chris is sharing to his wide audience.
I am all about equality. And so back in May, when I told you all to serve the Asians for Asian Heritage Month, it's our turn now to return the favor and serve our Black kings. And then come May, they are expected to return the favor. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked at how many of you have never been with a Black guy before. And like, look, your preferences.
I just wanted to pause because I know that's a fucking lie. Just like how there's that really very harmful, unhelpful stereotype that Asian women like white men, in the Gaysian community, there is also a very strong preference for white men. So I think it's very weird that Chris said that here.
Your racism, that's none of my business. But like, isn't there a part of you that's at least somewhat curious? Like, don't you want to at least try to say that, like, you tried?
Which is also weird, saying that you need to try other races. Like, we're on the same buffet table. Like, people always exoticize, fetishize, dehumanize, and hypersexualize Asian people and think of us as, like, an experience to try as well. So doing that also to the Black community is insane work to me. Like,
this time with a Black guy, I remember it like it was yesterday. This was a very, very long time ago. This was before Uber even existed. I remember because I had to take a $50 cab ride from Manhattan to Brooklyn. I was just a tourist in New York City. I had no idea where I was in the middle of Brooklyn in this area that's like, to be honest, it wasn't like the nicest part of Brooklyn. And I walked into his place and then he led me to his bedroom, and in his bedroom was just a single mattress that was lying on the...
This is also something really weird that I thought Chris had to point out in his video, because it's saying like, here, look, and if you go and try a black man, you're not gonna have the greatest experience because they live in the ghetto and they only have a mattress on their bed. Guess what, buddy? Dating in fucking San Francisco is actually 10 times worse, because someone will sit there and tell you that they make 7 figures and then they'll have a mattress in their living room with one television and a lawn chair and give you chips for dinner. Like, not that that's my experience, that's just someone else's experience I've heard. But anyway, let's fast forward.
Murmurs from the engaging grapevine that a lot of you are curious, but you're scared. And I know what you're scared of, okay? You're scared about the size. You're wondering, like...
I just want to say this as well, that I don't know how old this fool is, but that's some shit that my mom used to say to me when I was younger and she was trying to like demonize the black community and the Latin community. She was like, they're dangerous, you're gonna break in half. Like, Chris, you're really giving your age out right now. Anyway.
How is that thing gonna fit inside my tiny little Asian slit? It's just a stereotype. They're not all big.
I literally did not catch that the first time because I think I was just in such perpetual shock at the fucking the audacity of this man. But that's also a very harmful stereotype that is like put onto the Asian women community, or like the Asian femmes, the female presenting Asian people of our community. Like, this is such a horrible video. Okay, but like, in all honesty, I've never actually seen a small one. And I've seen a lot. I've been around, but like, I've never actually seen a small one in real life. If you have a small one, prove it. Prove it. So now he's also hypersexualizing the black community by saying that this is bad. Okay.
Send me a picture. Send me a video. Actually, send me a video with the money shot so I know it's real. Look, Asians, I'm not gonna mince my words, okay? It does hurt. Okay, it hurts. But it doesn't hurt as like much as you think it hurts. You know how ours is like rock solid? It's like cement, right? Theirs is a little bit more malleable, so there's a little bit more give. And so I wouldn't be like super scared of just looking at the size of it. But black dudes, and actually this applies to all guys, okay? When you go inside an Asian, can you guys at least be a little bit gentle at the start? Okay, can you like let us like breathe and like get used to it first? Like, our holes are so tight. This is how I know you guys are racist. No.
So now that we've watched this whole video together, because you do not need to go give him that watch, do not give him engagement, do not support creators like this. Like, the reason why I record stuff like this is, one, I screenshot and record everything for my art practice. And two, I don't think we should be platforming creators like this. I don't think this creator needs to be on here or have the voice that he has on here. Like, it's insane. He sounds like he's 50. Like, the stuff that he's saying is stuff that my mom says. Fuck.